everyone. Hi, Calvin. Hi, Rome. Hi, Neela and Raylan and Easton and Kaya and Vivian. Thanks for listening. I know you've been reading to your stuffed animals. And Blue and Dominic and Easton. I already said Easton. And who else? Nona, Cassis, and everyone else who's listening today. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to reading this story about music because I actually love music, and I hope that you enjoy it. Sit back, find a place to relax. I think I should say it the other way. So find a place to relax, sit back, and get ready to let your imagination go wild. Tony Johnston, Pages of Music, Tommy De Paola. Pages of Music. Pages of Music by Tony Johnston. Pictures by Tommy De Paola. For Tommy De Paola, an artist who makes paint sing, TJ. Long ago, a painter and her son Paolo visited the island of Sardinia. The mother had heard how beautiful it was in spring, and she wanted to paint it then. It was an island of mountains leaning over bays, hills sprinkled with wildflowers and sheep, and everywhere the sound of shepherds' pipes. Beautiful as it was also a poor island. The people were poor because the land was poor. They scratched it with sticks, and dug it with hoes, and turned it over with the help of oxen. Still, they were able to grow only enough grain and olives to live from day to day. The mother bought olives and cheese in the village, and they went into the hills where she could paint and Paolo could play. One day, a shepherd saw her painting his flock. He could tell from the picture that she loved the island. "You must be tired from painting so many sheep," he said. "Come, eat something with me." "We have olives," said the mother. "We have cheese," said Paolo. "But you need more," the shepherd said. "You need fogli di musica, pages of music." Paolo loved music. At home he practiced his music very hard, but he could not eat it. "What is that?" he asked excitedly. "You will see." They went to the shepherd's hut, sat on wooden stools, and shared his fogli di musica, which was a thin, hard bread. When they had finished, the mother offered to pay the shepherd, but he just smiled, took up his pipe, and filled the air with sweet notes. Paolo began to dance and sing with such joy that the shepherd leaped up and danced too. The mother sailed her hat into the wind and laughed. So it was throughout Sardinia. Paolo and his mother wandered the hills. She painted the sheep, the shepherds, the beautiful land. Wherever they went, shepherds shared what little they had with them, their fogli di musica. And Paolo listened to the music of their pipes, and he loved it. It does look like paper, doesn't it? At last they went home, and as they traveled to the mainland, Paolo looked at the island far away. "One day, I will go back there," he said. Years passed, and Paolo grew up. He studied music, he played music, he wrote compositions, and he became a famous composer. People heard his music in the concert halls of Europe. "He writes like an angel," they said, and he did. Paolo wrote for organs, for harps, for whole orchestras, but in his heart, he still heard the shepherd's pipes. To him, they made the most beautiful sound of all. He wanted to write music for them, so he did. He worked and worked on the music, and as he worked, he remembered the shepherds who had shared their bread with him and his mother. He remembered what he had said, "One day, I will go back there." And then he had a wonderful idea, and he smiled. Painting his mom painted Sardinia. One Christmas morning, something incredible happened in a village in Sardinia. It was so early that the sun had not yet risen. The villagers heard something creaking. Birds do not creak, they said. But what else is awake at this hour but birds? They poked their heads out of the windows and doors. The creaking got louder. Cosa questo? They asked. What is this? Far away, a procession of wagons was crawling over the hills. As it got closer, the villagers saw that the wagons were full of men and women grandly dressed in black and white. Cosa questo? They asked. What is this? The wagon stopped in front of the church. A man jumped down and began directing things. He moved so quickly that his hair bounced and his bow tie jiggled. He seemed to be everywhere at once. It was Paolo. Quick, 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 he said. Everybody out. Careful with the instruments. That's it. Very fine. Yes, please. Gently, gently. Like so many eggs, the percussions and woodwinds and strings were set down on the street, then carried inside the church. Gently, gently, gently. And before anyone could say Santo Piccolo, an entire symphony orchestra was settled comfortably there. Then Paolo told everyone, when the shepherds come, the music will begin. The musicians spent the day laughing, eating, and sharing stories with the people while they waited for the shepherds to come to the church, as they would, for it was Christmas. At last, the shepherds came down from the hills. As they neared the church, they heard something, creaking. Crickets do not creak, they said. But what else could that be at this hour but crickets? They poked their heads through the church doors. Cosa questo? They asked. It was Paolo's orchestra getting settled. I am Paolo, Paolo said. I am grown up. Do you remember? And they did. Once you shared your folie de musica with me, he told them, and now I will share mine with you. Flutes began to play a simple shepherd's song. Violins joined in, and the organ and horns, until at last the whole orchestra was playing. It was a song of a night long ago, a blazing star and shepherds come to meet a child. As the notes swelled up, a joyful feeling filled the church, for everyone felt the beauty of the song and the warmth of Christmas, sharing Paolo's folie de musica. The end. Pages of music. Interesting. Pages of music could be bread, or they could be pages of written notes. That was really nice. I've never been to Sardinia, but I do know that it's off the coast of Italy. And I'll bet that, hey, how about if I take you, Rome and Calvin, to visit Sardinia when you get older? That's a date. I love you. I'll see you all soon. Next time. Bye.